Ticker symbol U turns 4 years old this month, and it's been a wild ride so far. As we approach 400,000 subscribers, I thought it would be cool to give everyone a behind-the-scenes look at how we make our videos, how ticker symbol U runs as a business, how much money we make, and a sneak peek at some exciting projects that we're working on right now. Your time is valuable, so let's get right into it. Over the last few years, I've gotten all kinds of questions about this channel, from why we only make one video a week, to how ticker symbol U makes money, and what our long-term goals are. So I thought I'd celebrate 4 years of content and almost 400,000 subscribers by answering your most burning questions in 4 parts. I'll walk you through our entire content creation process. I'll show you all the ways the channel's made money so far. I'll share our long-term goals for the next 4 years and some of the big changes and exciting projects that we're working on to hit them. Let's start with how we make content. The heart and soul of ticker symbol U is our research. Besides me, there are 4 other researchers on the team, and if you've seen our podcast, Funding Awesome, then you've met a few of them already. All 5 of us come from very different areas of finance and technology, and everyone on the team actually started out as a fan of the channel. That's something I'm particularly proud of. We all do our research inside a tool called Coda. If you've ever heard of Notion, Coda is like that, but with a bigger focus on data tables instead of text. Over the years, we've compiled a massive library of market reports, earnings calls, and performance benchmarks for AI models and the chips that power them. We also follow a wide range of sources, from huge finance channels like CNBC to tiny blogs that focus on single parts of the tech stack. That way, when there's breaking news or a company announces surprising earnings, we're already set up to work through a ton of information from reliable sources on that specific topic. And when the news is slow, we have a rolling content calendar filled with topics that we think would be valuable to investors. Either way, after we've done our homework on a specific story, I start writing the script. If you didn't know, I script every single one of these videos, including this one. If you've ever wondered why my delivery is so smooth, it's because I'm reading. I do that for a few reasons. First, there are a lot of numbers, statistics, facts, and figures in every video, and there's no way I'm keeping it all straight in my head. Writing everything out and double checking it gives me the confidence I need to publish something that goes out to hundreds of thousands of investors. And believe it or not, I still get nervous on every upload. Another reason to write scripts is to stay organized. There's a really nice flow when we can explain one concept up front and then build on it for the rest of the video without bouncing back and forth between topics. That really lets us pack in as much information as we can into every single video. But the biggest reason that I script everything is I just don't trust reaction videos, especially when it comes to finance and technology. Reactions make for great entertainment because they're emotional and unrehearsed, but they're also filled with mistakes, and anyone who makes 2 or 3 videos a day obviously isn't doing any real research. They're just throwing content at the wall and seeing what sticks, and I think this community deserves better. That's why we only make 1 or 2 videos a week, and they're all inside our circle of competence. The script is also where I add in the video's sponsor, which I'll talk about more when I walk you through how we make money. See? Organized. After I finish the script, I pop it into my teleprompter, turn on the camera, and record myself reading it. Then I take the video files, throw them into Adobe Premiere Pro, cut out all the bad takes, and clean up the remaining audio. After that, I place all the right footage for everything I'm talking about and overlay the most important parts of all our research. It's a lot of work, but my thinking is if you can see what I'm talking about, you're more likely to remember it, especially when it's a chip inside a data center you'd never see or a graphic from a document you'll never read. By the way, you might be wondering if I'm really the one writing and editing these videos. The truth is, I've tried to hire writers and editors in the past. Trust me, writing and editing a 2,500 word video essay every week will burn you out quick. But I still haven't found a video editor that can pull the right footage for ASML's extreme ultraviolet lithography machines, or the super chips that go into NVIDIA's GB200 NVL72 systems. And it's pretty hard to find a writer that can take all of our research and quickly explain it to 100,000 busy investors without breaking our bank. So yeah, I really am the one to blame when we get something wrong. Anyway, with the audio all cleaned up and all the right footage in place, I render the video, upload it to YouTube, and fill out the description. Then I think of a very original title and make 3 incredibly unique thumbnails. By the way, if you've ever wondered why some videos seem to randomly change their thumbnails, it's because YouTube lets us test all 3 thumbnails and pick the one that gets the most watch time for that video. Pretty cool, right? Now that you understand how a video gets from my script to your screen, let's talk about how it makes money. Most people assume that the biggest chunk of a channel's revenue actually comes from ads, but ad revenue has two major problems when you're trying to run a business. First, YouTube takes a 45% cut of all ad revenue right off the top. Ticker symbol U has made $424,518 in ad revenue over our 4 years on YouTube. That works out to about $8,800 a month before taxes and after YouTube's 45% cut. The remaining 55% is very volatile and unpredictable. That makes it really tough to consistently pay my researchers, my software and hardware costs, and myself. Before going full-time on YouTube, I held a 6-figure research position at MIT. Quadrant can be used as a test range for much more than the radars. Today we're working on a LaserCom buoy testbed, and the goal there is to support future LaserCom initiatives. And then I was the chief data analyst for a high-tech e-commerce company. I don't have a book, I don't sell any courses, and my OnlyFans is at max capacity. So if I want a talented team for ticker symbol U, I need to find another way to close this revenue gap. That's where sponsors come in. Another part of YouTube's video upload form is this checkbox for paid promotions. It says if you accepted anything of value from a third party to make your video, you must let us know. We'll show viewers a message that tells them your video contains paid promotion. That's that little pop-up in the top left corner you see whenever there's a sponsor in my videos. Let me give you a few examples of sponsorships. I just think it's cool for you to see how all this stuff actually works behind the scenes. Remember all those times that I ran giveaways to get signups for NVIDIA's GTC conference? NVIDIA supplied the GeForce GPUs and their DLI credits. That's a sponsorship. Or how about when one of NVIDIA's directors came on our Funding Awesome podcast to talk about mixed reality and generative AI? That was sponsored too, since we promoted NVIDIA's conference. How about when NVIDIA flew me out to Silicon Valley to attend GTC in person?
I'm at NVIDIA GTC and I'm pretty sure that Jensen is Taylor Swift, but for dudes.
Watch Jensen's keynote presentation, interview NVIDIA's executives, and talk about everything that I learned. NVIDIA paid for my plane ticket, my hotel room, my transportation, and my press pass. That's a sponsorship. It's worth calling out that sponsorships like these don't influence what goes into our content. They make exclusive content possible in the first place. I can't get you early looks at NVIDIA's self-driving technology or their billion-dollar Blackwell systems if they don't fly me out and let me in. And I can't get interviews with NVIDIA's executives if I never let them promote their work, which most serious investors actually want to hear about anyway. Almost all of my NVIDIA videos are either completely unsponsored or they fall into this category. And it's not just NVIDIA. If AMD or TSMC or any other company I cover wants to offer me access, I will always take the deal because I really believe that this kind of exclusive content adds value that investors can't get anywhere else. The challenge with exclusive access deals is they pay the least by far, since most of the compensation are the prizes to give away, the transportation, the accommodations, the press passes, and so on. Over the 3 years we've worked with NVIDIA, we've made $10,500 in actual revenue, or not even 1% of our total. That means we usually lose money when we take the time to make exclusive content. But we don't care because it brings the most value to our audience and it's by far the most fulfilling content to make as a creator. But as a business owner, that means I need to balance this with other types of sponsorships, like product placements. I don't like seeing ads that aren't relevant to me, so I only promote products and services that I think are relevant to you. For my audience, that usually means big discounts on finance products or services, or access to things like venture funds, or placements in private companies like OpenAI and SpaceX. I don't always nail these, but I really do try. There are a few things you may not realize about product placements. First, this is a very niche investing channel that only makes around 5 videos a month. So there's way more demand from sponsors than videos to put them in. And as an investor, you already know what happens when low supply meets high demand. That also means we can be really picky about sponsors. Instead of rushing out more videos, we just up our prices, and we still reject around 40 product placements for every one you see. I also have a personal problem with affiliate deals, so I almost never take them. Affiliate deals are where somebody makes money every time there's a sign up using their link, which incentivizes content creators to push specific products and services even if it doesn't fit their content or provide the best solution for their audience. My only exceptions are investing services that I've personally been using for years, and even then, I almost never actually mention them in a video. The links just live in my descriptions. Since I make so few videos and I don't take money for signups, I can charge 4 or even 5 figures per placement, and we're pretty much booked through the rest of the year. This is where most of our stable income comes from, since the 20% cut our agent takes is still much better than YouTube's 45% cut on ads. And actually, one of the biggest changes we made last year was how we integrate these product placements. I used to match the product to the content so it would all flow together. For example, if the video was on the stock market crashing, the sponsor would be an alternative asset. That was great for business, but I got enough feedback asking if I was just making videos for the sponsor, so now product placements get assigned to videos almost randomly instead. I personally think that makes the content worse, but I've gotten way fewer complaints since I made that change, so it's a compromise that I'm happy to keep making. Besides exclusive access and product placements, I've also made a few dedicated videos. My first dedicated video ever was actually sponsored by nvidia over 2 years ago. It was part of an awareness campaign around Earth 2, a digital twin of Earth that nvidia was building to simulate global weather patterns and predict catastrophic climate events. We probably could have used that for Hurricane Helene, which just hit the Tampa area pretty hard. The goal of that video was to let people know that this program exists and that they could sign up for the Earth 2 session at NVIDIA GTC if they wanted to learn more. Here's a fun fact. That video was one of the worst performing videos I've ever made, and I'm pretty sure that I lost money making it, since we only got a whopping $5,000 for the video. But it was also one of the best videos that I'll ever make, because it led to me co-hosting a session at NVIDIA GTC with 2 other awesome content creators that I'm still close friends with today. They're even coming to my wedding. It also led to all the other exclusive NVIDIA content that I've made since, which has done really well for my audience over the last few years. And that's something I'm really proud of too. Anyway, my most recent dedicated video was actually only a few weeks ago, covering the patents and partnerships of a company called Poet Technologies. Most people have never dealt with sponsors like this, so let me show you how all this stuff works behind the scenes. I'll go slow so you can get the gist. This document is the notes from all our meetings, covering the core technology, their customers, and their vendors. Here's another document that ended up guiding most of the video, which talks about their waveguides, the manufacturing process those waveguides enable, and their competitive advantages. Here's the press release they wanted me to mention, which also determined when the video could be released. I had to sign a non-disclosure agreement to read it before it got published, and since it wasn't public information, I couldn't buy the stock until the announcement went live and my video came out. Bummer. And here's the feedback that they gave me on my script. They asked me to use the words AI networks instead of data centers, since that's what was in the press release. They clarified a few words about the benefits of their device to data centers, and they made me take out a joke where I said that we could buy the whole company if all 400,000 of us chipped in $500 each. But since this video isn't sponsored, I can make that joke right now. Guys, we have a chance to do the funniest thing. So all in all, they asked me to change exactly 7 words out of the 2,580 words in that script. Well, besides that joke, we charged $50,000 to make that video, but we would never make a dedicated video that we don't believe in. The point of a dedicated video is always to cover something super specific, like NVIDIA's Earth 2 program or Poet's patents and partnerships. That means I always lose my massive research advantage. I have to start from scratch and do everything on my own, from hours of extra upfront meetings to the final upload. And because dedicated videos usually have tight deadlines around conferences or press releases, they always stop me from running the rest of my business. Not to mention that $50,000 is gross revenue, not net. After our agent's 20% cut and Uncle Sam gets his cut, the channel nets less than half of that. And we still had to give up a product placement slot to do it, which is the revenue that we rely on. That's why we make so few dedicated videos, despite the high price tag. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter whether we're getting exclusive access to something, doing a product placement, or making a dedicated video. No company even tries to tell us what to say, and I think most content creators wouldn't work with any company that did. They try to give us the resources we need, they jump out of meetings as quickly as they can, and they hurry on to the next thing. After all expenses, I personally take home a little under 40% of what the channel makes, which is actually still less than what I was making at MIT a few years ago. So when I say most of my money actually comes from investing, I really mean it. Alright, so far I've shown you our entire content creation process, the different kinds of sponsorships we take, and how we make money as a result. Now let's talk about our goals for the next 4 years and some of the exciting projects and changes that we're making to hit them. I spent a lot of time on sponsorships because that's the biggest part of the business that I want to change. Like I said earlier, we're pretty much booked through the rest of the year. So starting in 2025, I'm going to focus a lot more on exclusive access deals that get me into conferences, technology expos, and trade shows, as well as getting more great guests on the podcast. I also really enjoy meeting fans of the channel, and this is a great way to do that. The second big change that I want to make is for transparency. I've been getting feedback saying that I need to do better when it comes to calling out sponsors. I hear you, and I'll do better. I formalized our ethics policy for taking sponsors, which I'll link to below so you can see exactly how we choose them. And I'll also make the callouts much clearer inside the videos themselves. The third and final change is that I'm going to start sponsoring myself. Remember when I promised that I'd share all my stock picks and price targets with everyone? Well, I didn't forget. We've been burning money building a system to organize and share everything way faster and cover way more companies than we can in videos. The reason it's taking so long is we decided to integrate stock market data directly into the system. That way we always know exactly how well we're doing, and we can refine our investing process over time based on data, not emotional reactions. We're calling it Tech Stocks today. And as it grows, we'll do less third-party product placements so we can focus on the things that matter most: stocks, the science behind those stocks, and becoming better and more informed investors. I think that's how this channel gets to 1 million subscribers over the next 4 years. But either way, creating content for you is the best job I'll ever have, and I'm really proud of what we've built so far. Hopefully, you enjoyed seeing how I run this channel. If you did, consider hitting the like button and subscribing to it. That really helps me out, and it lets me know that I can create more behind-the-scenes content like this. And if you want to know anything else about the business, just leave me a comment below, and I'll do my best to answer it. Either way, thanks for watching, and until next time, this is Ticker Symbol U. My name is Alex, reminding you that the best investment you can make is in you.